On the night of January 30th, 2025, a tragic collision occurred near Washington, D.C. that claimed the lives of all 67 people aboard two aircraft. An American Airlines regional jet, Flight 5342, was involved in a mid-air collision with a United States Army Sikorsky UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter, leading to a catastrophic crash in the icy waters of the Potomac River. This event shocked the nation, particularly as it unfolded in the airspace near the bustling Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, a critical point in the U.S. airspace system. The American Airlines flight was carrying 60 passengers, including notable figure skaters, as well as for crew members. The helicopter, which was on a routine military training mission, had 3 soldiers on board. The passengers on the flight came from various backgrounds, including young athletes and their coaches. Among them were Jinahan and Spencer Lane, 2 promising young skaters, along with their mothers and coaches, including former world champion Vadim Normov. The collision occurred just a few miles south of the White House, an area typically known for its strict air traffic control measures, as it is one of the most controlled and busy airspaces in the world. Eyewitnesses reported seeing the plane in a normal descent until it sharply banked right, emitting streams of sparks before crashing into the river. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but as recovery operations unfolded, authorities confirmed that no survivors had been found, and the mission quickly shifted from rescue to recovery. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, immediately launched an investigation to understand the cause of the crash. Early reports indicated that there may have been a miscommunication between the 2 aircraft and air traffic control. The investigation also highlighted potential issues with air traffic control staffing, as only one air traffic controller had been managing both helicopters and airplanes during the night of the incident, which is a departure from the usual 2-person staffing required for such operations. As the recovery efforts continued, the question of how the 2 aircraft came to be in such close proximity to each other, leading to the tragic collision, remained unanswered. Flight data revealed that the helicopter had been operating above its permitted altitude, and air traffic controllers had attempted to warn the helicopter about the incoming plane. However, it seems that the warning came too late, as the collision occurred mere moments after the exchange. The initial reports and images of the crash scene were harrowing. The wreckage of both aircraft was found submerged in the Potomac River, with the plane broken into multiple sections and the helicopter's debris scattered nearby. In the midst of the recovery operations, the NTSB began to gather data from the flight recorders of the American Airlines jet, hoping to shed light on the series of events leading to this tragedy. The involvement of the military helicopter and the civilian airliner in such close proximity raised many questions, and the NTSB was tasked with piecing together what had gone wrong. In the wake of the crash, the public's attention also turned to the possible factors that may have contributed to the incident. President Donald Trump, without providing concrete evidence, speculated that the Federal Aviation Administration's FAA focus on diversifying its workforce could have been a factor in the disaster, though his comments were not substantiated by the ongoing investigation. As investigators combed through the wreckage and analyzed air traffic control tapes, the tragic loss of life continued to weigh heavily on the nation. Many expressed their sorrow for the victims, and several tributes poured in for the lost skaters and their families. But as the days went on, questions about the circumstances of the crash began to dominate the headlines, leaving many to wonder what went wrong that night. The investigation deepens and air traffic control under scrutiny as the wreckage from the deadly crash of American Airlines Flight 5342 and the United States Army Sikorsky UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter is slowly recovered from the Potomac River. The investigation into the circumstances surrounding the crash intensifies. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, has mobilized its team to carefully examine all available data, including the critical cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder from the American Airlines jet. Their mission is to understand exactly what went wrong and whether human error, technical malfunctions, or any other factors played a role in the collision. One of the key points of focus for investigators is the sequence of events in the moments leading up to the crash. Air traffic control recordings have revealed that just seconds before the collision, an air traffic controller in the tower was heard asking the helicopter pilot if they had sighted the incoming aircraft, American Airlines Flight 5342. The pilot confirmed that they had visual contact. The controller then instructed the helicopter to pass behind the plane. Unfortunately, there was no further communication to clarify the timing of the maneuver, and mere moments later, the two aircraft collided in mid-air. The NTSB has stated that the investigation will focus on a range of potential causes, including whether the helicopter was flying at an improper altitude, whether the air traffic controller had enough time and information to direct the helicopter to safety, and whether there were any miscommunications or misinterpretations of airspace protocols. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Investigations Worldwide and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest documentaries.